Hi, we are here to talk about the HELP assessment or the Hawaii Early Learning Profile. This assessment was made to help identify behaviors and developmental skills. Specifically, the categories involved are cognition, language, gross motor, fine motor skills, social emotional development, and self-help skills. The assessment is broken down into two sub-tests depending on age. The first is for children 0 to 3, and the second is for children 3 to 6. The HELP assessment was normed on children ranging in ages from 7 to 35 months in a non-identified southeastern state where the assessment data was de-identified for the participant group, limiting the information on gender, SES, race, and cultures of the children.
To start the HELP, the therapist must collect and review preliminary information, current and past medical reports, conduct a family interview, review items to anticipate that we will be observing, identify general developmental milestones, sample the overall format for structuring assessment, conduct a free play warm-up period, use a structured facilitation guide to guide the child for activities where you want to elicit certain skills, observe the movement, motor activities, and play period, and finally, the feeding and snack time period. While testing, it's important to be culturally sensitive. The HELP emphasizes that the therapist should test in their native language, use verbal and nonverbal cues in communication, provide toys that are meaningful for the child, and conduct specific interview questions that is relevant to the family's culture. Remember that parents are an important part of the process when completing the HELP.
The HELP assessment is scored upon observation and includes numbers and letters describing how the child portrays a skill. A 0 or negative is given if the behavior or skill is not present while observing the child. A 1 or a plus over negative is an emerging skill, but not considered fully part of the child's repertoire and normally daily function. The child may have learned the skill during the assessment period as an imitation and may need reminders in order to keep eliciting the skill. A 2 or a plus is given with a competent report of the child's typical functioning across familiar settings. An A is given when the child's skill or behavior is atypical, dysfunctional, or quality concerns that interfere with development and everyday functioning. And then an NA is given when it's not appropriate to assess due to age, disability, cultural or functional relevance, or family preference. There is no basal or ceiling for this assessment as it is observation, and we are going to give a brief demonstration of the assessment. An interview has already been conducted addressing the home life, medical history, and relevant information.
So Kara's our child here, and she's gonna be 35 months. We're gonna be looking at the fine motor aspect right now. So while observing, we're gonna be looking at if she can build a tower using 8 cubes. We don't have any cubes right now, so we're just using what's relevant. So we can see that right now she's building a tower. She already built a bridge and a tower over there. 6, 7, and 8. So she would get a 2 or a plus for that. And we would continue these fine motor skills until she can and cannot be observed. If she can do that. Okay. So now we're doing the cognitive aspect of the assessment. So Kara's still 36 months old and she's working right now. We can see that she's stacking the little cubes, the little rings by color, and she's also placing them into each appropriate section. So she would be getting stacks in correct order. She'd be getting a 2 or a plus for that. If she couldn't demonstrate that, or she did partially, it would be a 1 or a positive or a negative. And if she couldn't do it at all, 0 or a negative. And if it didn't apply to her, an NA. For the gross motor aspect of the assessment, there's one scale about catching an 8-inch ball. So here we have an 8-inch ball here, and we're gonna see if Kara can catch it. So again, she'd get a 2 or a plus. So again, because she's competent with the skill, we would keep on going, or if she wasn't, we would go backwards. It all just depends what's culturally relative and if she can and cannot complete the skill.